Hey guys, welcome to the Command Tower. We make EDH deck decks. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, check our TCG player affiliate link in the description below. If you use it, helps us out a lot. Today's deck is a Maja Bretagard Protector. Maja is a 2/3, says other creatures you control get +1/+1. And whenever a land enters battlefield under control, create a 1/1 white human warrior creature token. So basically, we're going to ramp a ton, get a ton of lands onto the battlefield, and make a ton of tokens from that. And make tokens in other ways. Then once we get a bunch of tokens, we're going to buff them up and attack for a lot of damage. Total price of this deck is $26.27. This is according to TCG Player, and does not include the price of basic lands. So let's get right into the deck. First off, we get ramp, and since our commander wants to get lands on the battlefield, we're going to need a lot of it. Crop rotation, you sacrifice a land, choose your library for your land card, put it on the battlefield, shuffle your library. Harrow, if you sacrifice land, you get 2 basic lands on the battlefield. Roiling Regrowth, sacrifice land, get 2 basic lands on the battlefield tapped. And Spring Bloom Druid, enters your battlefield, you sacrifice land, and get 2 basic lands on the battlefield tapped. All of those are super good, because you're getting 2 lands on the battlefield for 3 mana. And you're going to get 2 1/1s. Search for Tomorrow, search your library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield, shuffle your library. It has to spend 2 for 1 green. Cultivate, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, put 1 on the battlefield tapped, the other in your hand. Growth Spasm, search your library for a basic land card, put on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library and put a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token on the battlefield. Sacrifice it to get a generic mana pool. Even if you don't sacrifice it, you can still pump it up. Beanstalk Giant, it has a sorcery adventure. Search your library for basic land card, put on the battlefield tapped. Well, actually not tapped. And then you shuffle your library. And its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. So, it's ramp, and also a really big creature. Colony Heart Expedition, whenever land enters battlefield under control, put a quest counter on it. And if you remove 3 quest counters from it, sacrifice it, search your library for 2 basic land cards, put on the battlefield tapped. Nissa's Pilgrimage, search your library for 2 basic forest cards, reveal them, put 1 on the battlefield tapped, and rest in your hand, shuffle your library. But then it has Spell Mastery. There are 2 or more instant or sorcery spells in your graveyard. You get 3 basic forest cards instead of 2. And there's a lot of instant and sorceries in this deck, so you'll probably get 3. Circuitous Route, search your library for 2 basic lands and or gate cards, put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. This is Renewal. Search your library to 3 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. And you gain 7 life. Marasa Root Grazer, Vigilance, you can tap to put a basic land from your hand on the battlefield, or you can tap to return a basic land you control to its owner's hand. So it's going to ramp, or let you play more lands. Ruin Ghost, you pay white, tap it, exile target land you control, then return it to the battlefield under control. So it's going to give you another landfall trigger, and give you another token. Animus Awakening, reveal the top X cards of your library, and put all lands from among them on the battlefield tapped. Rest on the bottom of your library in random order. And if you're ramping a lot, you could play this for a lot. And then, probably the best card in the deck, Perilous Forays. You pay 1, sacrifice a creature, search your library for basic land card, and put in the pit tapped. Then shuffle your library. So basically, if your commander is out, you're going to use this ability and sacrifice a token, which is going to get a basic land in the battlefield tapped. And you're going to make a token from that. Then you sacrifice that token to get another basic land on the battlefield tapped. So it's a really good combo, you just need the mana to use it. Then we got a couple cards that are going to make you tokens when you play lands. Retreat to Emeria, Landfall, you choose one. You create a 1/1, or creature control gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Paladar Retreat, Landfall, you choose one. Create a 2/2, or put a 1/1 counter on each creature control, and they gain Vigilance till end of turn. Zendikar Royal, Landfall, you create a 2/2. Emeria Angel, Flying. Landfall, you create a 1/1 with Flying. And then Rampaging Balos, Trample, and Landfall, you create a 4/4. All of these are just going to help you make more tokens, which then you can buff up and attack for a lot of damage. Then we got a couple other cards that are going to make tokens for you. Thraben Doomsayer, you tap it to create a 1/1, and as long as you have 5 or less life, other creatures you control get +2/+2. and Squirrel Nest. Enchant land has tap, create a 1/1. Both of these are going to help you make consistent tokens, and your commander is going to make them 2/2s. Geist Honored Monk, Vigilance, its power and toughness equal number of creatures you control, which should be a decent amount. And when it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1s with flying. Ovia Bashiri, Sage Lifecrafter. You can pay 3, tap it, create a 1/1. You pay 5 and tap it, create an XX colorless construct artifact creature token, or X number of creatures you control. Giant Adaphage, Trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it. Called the Coppercoats. Has Strive. It costs 2 more to cast for each target beyond the first. You choose any number of target opponents. Create X 1/1s, where X number of creatures those opponents control, which should be a decent amount, so you're going to make a lot of 1/1s. Nomad's Assembly. Put a 1/1 creature token on the battlefield for each creature control, which is good enough already, but then it has Rebound, so you're going to cast it again. And by then, you'll have a lot of creatures, and you'll make a ton more. White Sun Zenith. Create X 2/2 white cat creature tokens, and you shuffle into your library. And Shana, Sisei's Legacy, which doesn't really make tokens, but it's going to benefit off of them. Can't be the target of abilities your opponents control. And it gives +1/+1 for each creature control. So it's going to become pretty big, and it's going to be kind of hard to kill. Then we get some cards that are going to help you populate. Wayfaring Temple. Its power and toughness are equal number of creatures you control, so it's going to be big enough already. And then, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you populate. Druid's Deliverance. You prevent all combat damage to be dealt to you this turn, and then also populate. And Rootborn Defenses. You populate, and creatures you control gain Indestructible on a turn, which is going to protect all your creatures from board wipe. Then we got some cards that are going to help pump up our creatures, make them a lot bigger. Intangible Virtue. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1 at Vigilance. Glorious Anthem. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Dictative Heliod. Flash. Creature you control get +2/+2. Collective Blessing. Creatures you control get +3/+3. Prop of the Steel Legion. A very good card, because as long as your turn, creature tokens you control get +1/+4, which is going to make them really hard to kill, because they're going to have a lot of toughness. And then you can also pay for and create a 1/1. Overrun. Creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trampled on a turn. And then, McKendy Stampede. Creatures you control get +2/+2 on a turn, or it's a land that enters the battlefield tapped, and taps are white. All of these are just going to help you deal a bunch of extra damage. Then we got some card advantage. Camaraderie. You gain X life and draw X cards where X number of creatures you control, and then creatures you control get +1/+1 on a turn. So you're going to draw a bunch of cards, and then also make your creatures bigger and attack with them. Shamanic Revelation. Draw a card for each creature you control, and you gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Collective Unconscious. Draw a card for each creature you control. Calling Dais. You can tap it, sacrifice a creature to put a charge counter on it. Pay 1, sacrifice it, draw a card for each charge counter on it. Carnage Altar. Pay 3, sacrifice a creature, draw a card. Both those you can just sacrifice your tokens to help draw cards. Idle Oblivion. Tap it, draw a card, but only if you create a token this turn, which, as long as you're playing land, you're going to make a token. And you can also pay 8, tap it, sacrifice it, create a 10/10. Mentor of the Meek. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under control, pay 1 to draw a card. Rites of Flourishing. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Then each player may play an additional land on each of their turns. Seer's Sundial. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under control, you can pay 2 to draw a card. And then just Harmonize. Just draw 3 cards. Then we get some removal. Sundering Growth. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, then populate. Trostani's Judgment. Exile a creature, then populate. Aura of Mutation. Destroy an enchantment. Create X 1/1 green sapling creature tokens where X enchantments convert mana cost, which could make you a lot of 1/1s. Devouring Light has Convoke, so you can tap your tokens to play it. Exile target attacking or blocking creature. Slicing Charm. Choose 1. Target creature gets +2/+2 and creates trampled on a turn. Exile target creature with power 5 or greater. Or create a 2/2 Knight with Vigilance. Sylvan Reclamation. Exile up to 2 target artifacts or enchantments. Has basic land cycling for 2. Computer Takedown. Deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. And it's also land that enters battlefield tapped. Taps are white. Hour of Reckoning. Convoke. So once again, you can tap your tokens to play it. And destroy all non-token creatures. Which is really going to leave the board open for you to attack with a lot of damage. Phyrexian Rebirth. Destroy all creatures, then create an XX, colorless horror artifact creature token, where X number of creatures destroyed this way. Then Martial Coup. Create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens, then if X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. So you're going to make tokens and board wipe. And then lastly, we've got lands. Selesnya Guildgate, enters battlefield tapped. Taps for Selesnya colors. Shrinkle Expanse is the same thing. Selesnya Sanctuary, enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, you return land you control to its owner's hand. Taps are both Selesnya colors. Grey Pelt Refuge, enters battlefield tapped and you gain a life. Taps for Selesnya colors. Blossoming Sands is the same thing. Croson Verge, enters battlefield tapped. Taps are colorless. You can pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it. Search the library for a forest card and a plains card. Put them on the battlefield tapped. And shuffle your library. Blighted Woodland. Taps are colorless. Or you pay 4, tap it, sacrifice it. Get 2 basic lands on the battlefield tapped. Myriad Landscape. Enters battlefield tapped. Taps are colorless. Pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it. Search the library for 2 basic land cards that share a land type. Put them on the battlefield tapped. Warped Landscape. Taps are colorless. You pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it. Get a basic land on the battlefield tapped. Evolving Wilds. Tap it, sacrifice it. Get a basic land on the battlefield tapped. And Terramorphic Expanse is the same thing. And all of those cards are just going to help you get more landfall triggers and make more tokens. Futukazi, the City Tree. Taps are colorless, or you can pay 4 and tap it, create a 1/1. And then Colony Garden. Enters battlefield tapped. Enters battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. And taps are green. And you can make that 0/1 bigger, so it'll be pretty useful. Then we just got 12 forests and 14 plains. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it, subscribe, and have a great day.